Chair. I understand that the Department of Environment has installed new non-gendered toilets in its buildings in Canberra, and the Treasury will be doing so in a new refurbishment. So is that correct?
I have seen a report that the Department of Environment did that. In relation to the Treasury, there was an article about the Treasury building to which we're moving into, but we're not, the article wasn't entirely accurate.
Right, so what is the case then?
Well, the case is that we're moving into 2 floors of the building.
Right.
And on, 3 floors, beg pardon. And on each floor there will be a accessible single occupant toilet, and the other toilets will be the normal toilets for males and females. So that's the arrangement.
And so is it a responsibility of the Australian Public Service Commission to provide policy guidelines for gender-neutral toilets?
No, I don't. No, it's not, Senator. My view is that agencies have to comply with various laws, regulations. Often, of course, an agency will be leasing a property, and the provision of toilets, etc., will be the responsibility of the building owner. So, no, there's no APS-wide policy on this.
Right, because I'd seen media reports that there were new inclusion policies that were being developed for the public service.
And no, not on this issue, Senator.
Not so. So, are there new inclusion policies that are being developed?
Senator Stephanie Foster, Deputy Public Service Commissioner. We actually took up with the journalist his assertion that we were developing a new inclusion policy to cover this, and advised him that we had not made any statement to that effect. He indicated he had other sources for that information, and no, we don't have any plans at this stage for a new inclusion policy.
Okay, so that was not correct then. So in terms of gender-neutral toilets, do you know whether there are any other plans across the public service for departments to have gender-neutral bathroom facilities?
No, I don't.
No, and it's not something that the Australian Public Service Commission is going to be pursuing?
No.
No. Is the issue of gender diverse and transgender people being comfortable in their workplace something that you think is something that the Public Service Commission should be engaged with and should be of interest to you?
Of course, everybody in the workplace has a right to be treated with respect, and all of our policies and various emanations of our policies are directed at that,
right,
including transgender people.
So if you, as you say, everyone's got a right to be treated with respect, do you agree that everyone has got a right to then feel comfortable at work as well?
Well, of course, yes.
Yes. So do you understand that transgender and gender diverse people may not feel comfortable at work if they cannot access gender neutral bathroom facilities?
Well, they may, but my sense is that, say, in the building that was mentioned in this case, there is a capacity to cater for that.
In what way?
Well, the accessible single occupant toilet would be an opportunity if they were not inclined to go to the regular type male or female toilet. They could go to that single occupant toilet.
Have you done any consultation with transgender or gender diverse people across the public service about what their preferences would be for their toilet facilities?
No, Senator. So we've got broad guidance, as the Commissioner said, about treating people with respect and courtesy, but the specific policies for example, facilities within buildings are the responsibility for each agency, and each agency head carries a responsibility to ensure that they consult with their staff and that they provide appropriate responses to that.
So do you do any monitoring as to whether agencies have indeed consulted with their transgender staff regarding their the bathroom facilities?
I'm sorry, Senator.
Do you do any monitoring of what agencies? Do you have any details of whether agencies have indeed consulted with their transgender staff?
So, Senator, we're aware that all agencies have some form of consultative mechanism with their staff, and that staff are free and in fact do raise the questions that they want with the agency management. So in our instance, Senator, it was not an issue raised by our staff through our consultative mechanisms.
Do you know how many transgender staff there are in the Australian Public Service?
No, I don't, Senator.
Is it something that you would be monitoring?
So, Senator, we ask a range of questions in our employee census each year, and I'm just trying to recall what questions we have in this current year census. Ms. Bull might be able to help us.
Yes, Helen Bull, Group Manager, Workforce Information. For the first time in this year's census, which is currently in the field, we have asked a question of staff about whether they identify as LGBTI+. That hasn't closed. We don't have any other data on that at the moment.
Right. And does it ask them specifically, it doesn't ask them specifically whether they identify as being transgender or gender diverse?
No, not at this stage.
So you don't have any information then about the need in the public service for having bathroom facilities that cater for transgender people?
So, Senator, individual agencies may well ask their staff that question and may well take that into account in their planning. What we do is take a broad perspective and say what data do we sensibly need at a whole of APS level in order to respond to the needs of our employees.
Yes. Are there other things that you do to ensure and provide guidelines to agencies as to how to ensure that they respect employees?
Senator, we provide guidance across a very broad
but not
range of
not about
issues.
this issue of providing bathroom facilities for transgender people.
No, Senator. In fact, it's an issue which has only become debated very recently.
Okay. Thank you.